Hello and welcome to Learning Excel 2013. My name is Mike Henry and this is the 8th video from Tutorial 8. In this video we're going to go back to our VLOOKUP, and this one's really going to help us understand the difference between a true and a false in that number 4 position, the fourth argument, or understanding what an exact match versus an approximate match is. So that's going to be the focus of this video. So with this formula, we're going to be looking at the service award payout. Now first, to get the service award payout, basically it's going to be based on your years of service. So you can see we have multiple different years of services here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this years of service and we're going to look it up in this table here. Now watch, I'm going to highlight this. This table here does have a name. You can see it's called awards. And basically how this table is going to work is it's not quite like this one, you can see, in that if I've worked for 0 years, I get 0 award. If I worked 1 year, I get $100. If I worked 2 years, I get $100. And if I work 3 years, I get $100. So what you can see with this one is you're climbing the ladder. Okay? If I'm here, I get this. If I'm here, I'm going to get this, and I do not get to the next rung on the ladder until I hit here. So for years 2 and 3, I go back to here. As soon as I hit this rung on the ladder, I get to move here. And then for years 5, 6, and until I hit 7, I keep going back to there. So this is going to be our approximate match. When we talk about trues and falses, this is an approximate match. I'm going to go approximately here. So if I've worked for 522 years for this company, I'm still only getting 1,000 because I'm going to fall back to that. There's no rung on the ladder after 10. So let's take a look at how we're going to do this one. So here, this is just like our regular VLOOKUP. You can see I put E equal. I put VL and I get my VLOOKUP. So I'm off and running, and I hit tab. Now this time our lookup value, what we're looking up, is actually our years of service. So when I put my square bracket and I hit Y, you can see I get my years of service, and I hit the tab and close that. Now for my table array, I already looked that up. I know that's called awards. So as soon as I type in here AW, you can see the only possible name that's available for me is I hit tab and I get my awards. Now once we get to the award table, we need to figure out what we're getting, and we're getting column number 2. Okay. Now here's the big difference. In the last one we were doing the false, which was showing an exact match. I had to exactly be something. In this case, we're going to do a true or an approximate match. Means I am climbing the ladder, and until I get to the next rung, give me the approximate. So we hit T for true, or I hit the tab and get my true, and I close that out. And so you can see that this person here has worked for 6.6 years. They haven't climbed high enough on the ladder to get to the $1,000 marker, or excuse me, the $500 marker, which is at 7, so they get $250. This person's at 2.3 years, which means they fall back to the 100. Down here a little ways down, we have someone who's worked 0.7 years. They haven't even climbed enough to get to the first rung on the ladder. They're not getting anything. Now this person who's worked for almost 14 years, they're going to get 1,000. Theirs is never going to change because there's no next rung on the ladder. So you can see this is where we use an approximate match versus an exact match. So in this video, we took our VLOOKUP and we went out to that fourth position or fourth argument and really now understand the difference between a true and a false, or an exact versus an approximate. So it's really about the input. If the input has to exactly match something in that column for it to return, we're going to use a false. For example, Family Plan 2500, Family Plan 2500 must have a slot in that first index line, Family 2500. If not, it's going to fail. Now in an approximate, we look over at that column and we say, where would our number fall approximately in this list, and if not, we fall back to the oldest one if you haven't climbed high enough on the ladder. So we're going to see this in another video when we build our tables.